Hi, I'm Mike Christensen, and I accidentally just started a novel. Oops. It is May 16th, 2019, and I have been working on a novel for a while. I've been trying to flesh out a new idea. The first novel I wrote, I did 4 drafts of, 3.5 technically, and I just need to shelve it for a little while, give it some more time to breathe. And I decided to start working on something completely different genre, completely different tone. It's a fantasy novel. I'm not going to tell you any more details about it, but this time I wanted to go in and really carefully plot it, really carefully figure out the story and the themes and the everything I wanted to do and all the scenes prior, and just start writing them one by one. That's not how I wrote the first novel, but it seems like it would be a fun thing to try. But today, I was at work and I just had this idea for a scene. And there's this idea that I've had for a long time, this novel idea that has been taking shape gradually over the last couple of years. But today I just had such a clear idea for a scene that I sat down and I started writing. But I didn't start with that scene. I actually decided to start with the prologue. The scene would be the first scene in the book. That much I know. But I needed to have something prior. I'm a very linear writer. I can't really write out of order. It messes with my head. So I wrote a prologue, and that came out pretty well. It was tough because I didn't really know what I was going to do, and there was certain elements of research that I needed to do for the book that I haven't done yet. So I was kind of Googling things as I was writing, which I try not to do because I think it really messes up my flow. But I was just feeling this urge to get to the first chapter, what I knew was going to be the first line of the story. So I worked on the prologue, and then I wrote about a page of the first chapter. And I'm at 972 words of a book I wasn't planning to start. I wasn't even thinking I would start. I had not figured out characters. I had an idea for one of them pretty strongly, but the others were not there yet, not at all there yet. And now I have an idea of some of them, and I'm getting a sense of the story, and I'm figuring things out as I'm thinking about it more and on the drive home. So I accidentally started pantsing another novel. This is how I wrote my first novel. Is I figured it all out as I went along. There was no real strong plan, and I would just kind of make it up. And for this story, I actually think that approach could work again. But I do want to give plotting a try. I really enjoyed on one of my revisions of my first novel going through and meticulously figuring out what does each scene need to be, what does each scene serve, and it was essentially a ground level rewrite. It was as if I was rewriting it from scratch. I scrapped characters entirely, gender flipped other characters, and completely excised storylines. It was a brand new start, so it needed to be a pretty comprehensive rewrite. The plotting approach really helped me. I mean, I did index cards, the whole deal, and even to the point where if a scene on the card didn't give me enough detail, it was really hard to actually write out that scene, even if it was similar to a scene that existed in earlier drafts. So I think that I am becoming a plotter, very much so, but then this idea came along, and it's a pantsing idea. I have ideas for where it can go, but I definitely think that this is going to be something that I figure out as I go along, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. I was planning to start the YouTube channel a little later when I figured out a little more, of this kind of stuff. But I need to start this vlog because this novel just accidentally got born. Genre, I think supernatural horror or young adult supernatural horror. I'm trying to figure out exactly where it's going to land. Working title, we're going to call it The Library Novel. That's not a lasting title at all, but that's what I'm calling it for now. That's how I've saved it in my Scrivener. I'm also going to teach myself Scrivener on this novel. I used Microsoft Word for my previous book. So there's a lot of change going on, kind of all at once. May 16th, kind of a weird day. Weird hour, actually. Weird couple of hours. Look at that. That's so awesome. Woohoo! None of this was planned. It's Friday afternoon, and I wrote another 881 words. Yeah, this is not where I will permanently be recording, but it's where I have at the moment, because if I go downstairs, my dog is going to go bananas. I am now getting a sense of who the main characters are going to be, and while I was walking my dog, I got a lot of ideas about where the story is going. So this was another good productive day. It feels like this vlog is going to be really short, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do any writing this weekend. I'm going to the Renaissance Fair tomorrow, and I honestly think weekend writing is such a challenge. So probably this is going to be the last day of writing in the vlog. But then Monday, I'm back into it, and then Tuesday, my girlfriend is getting her wisdom teeth out, which is gonna be unfortunate, certainly not fun. Hopefully I can do some writing before that happens. And then on a Wednesday, I'm going to be with her all day. I'm taking the day off work as she recovers, and probably I'm gonna try to do a little bit of writing before she is awake. It depends how much pain she's in. But she's generally a late sleeper, so if I can take the dog out and then do some writing all before like 9, then I should be able to get a good chunk of words in. I'm really only writing on my lunch break, and I can write, around just under 1,000 words in an hour if I'm really feeling the story. So I think that I can make some really good progress with this novel. I'll show you at some point where I write, and today it was just too cold for me to stay out there for more than 40 minutes. So that was all I got in today, and I still felt like, 881 words in 40 minutes is still really good. And I generally don't go back in and revise things that I've already written. Well, I try not to. I shouldn't say that I don't do it. I try not to do it. That's a different thing. But today I realized that I hadn't really properly set up the main character's disability on the first introduction of him. But I was pretty close to that scene still, so I just went back in, added a little bit more description of one of his physical characteristics, and then in this section that I wrote today, sort of really got to explore a little bit, and then I cut some of that. I don't know how much I want to give away too early in the book about his disability and sort of how it happened. That is going to be something I kind of play with throughout the draft, I think. But that's it. That's the update for today. I don't know if I'm going to do any more writing over the weekend, but I'll definitely give you an update in a minute. This is not going to be my permanent recording spot either, just while Victoria's sleeping in downstairs. I'm gonna let her sleep in a little bit. It's Sunday morning. I didn't record yesterday because I didn't write yesterday. It was a weekend, and I don't really expect to do a lot of writing on weekends, but, especially yesterday we were going to the Ren Fair, so the only chance I really would have had to write would have been first thing in the morning, which I did not do because I did not wake up early enough. I'm not really going to try to do much writing today. It's going to be... I honestly think of weekends as refill the well days, where you just kind of need to take a break from the novel and focus on the other things that you need to do for your life, but also just, I'm going to do a little bit of reading. I'm working on a Stephen King novel. I'm reading Wizard and Glass, so I'm going to try to do a little bit of reading there. I'm reading American Gods aloud to Victoria as sort of our bedtime routine, but depending how she's feeling during the day, maybe we can do that a little earlier, because that's our end of the day ritual, but we're also almost done with the book. We're like 75 pages away from the end, so if we can finish that up, that would be awesome. And then that is going to be it for this vlog. It's a short one because I started very late in the week, but I think I'm going to treat Monday through Friday as my writing days. And then anything I get done on the weekends is just bonus content, and that way I can start the next vlog with a little like, hey, got a little bit of writing done on a Saturday. But this was a good start to the novel. Even just 2 days to hit, over 800 words each day is a pretty good start. So I'm looking forward to more updates on the library novel, and then I'm still working on the wizard novel, which is the fantasy novel. That's what we'll call it the working title. It has an actual title, but I'm not going to tell you yet. But the wizard novel I am still outlining. I'm close, and so hopefully I think in July I'll be able to jumpstart that and do some drafting on it. Just depends on where we are with the library novel at that point. So that's going to be it. This is my first video. It's not what I thought my first video was going to be, but it's a great start, and it sort of exemplifies everything I hope to do with this channel, which is to show you that I don't know what I'm doing. I'm figuring a lot of this out as I go. There will be some videos about craft, about tropes, about things that I like, things that I dislike. All that stuff is coming, but a lot of it is still going to be me figuring things out as I go, because I came to novels a little late in terms of writing, and I have a lot of bad habits about reading that I'm trying to break and form into good habits, which is why I read to Victoria, which is why I'm going to try to do some reading today on a Sunday and sort of treat that as me refilling the well. So there's a lot of me still figuring this out and trying to figure out what kind of writer I am. In the first video, I said I don't know whether I'm a plotter or a pantser. Like, I'm trying to figure out what I prefer. I've only really finished one novel to completion, and I finished it both ways. I did a draft of pantsing, and then a few revisions, and then it needed so much help, and it felt more like plotting a novel. I liked them both, so I don't know what I'm going to prefer. So these two novels being written completely different ways, and either one right after the other, or it's probably not a good idea to try to write them at the same time, right? That seems like not a good call, but I want to get the Wizard novel done too, so we'll see what happens. But either way, these two being written so differently is going to be a very interesting experience, and hopefully by the end of it, hopefully in the next few months, I'll know really what my writing style is. Or if I have two writing styles, then what do I prefer for each project? What are the strengths and weaknesses? A lot of YouTubers talk about their one style, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be that guy, but if I am, you're going to see it happen in real time, which is going to be weird. And again, not what I thought I was going to do, but, hopefully it's entertaining content. If you like this vlog, go ahead and subscribe. There is going to be more content very soon. I plan for at least one video every week. And it seems like they're going to be writing vlogs, at least to start, but I also have some other video content coming very soon. But this vlog is going to go up, and there'll be a new one same day next week. I hope to have more content that time around. So there's a button here where you can subscribe. Ordinarily, there would be a link to some other videos of mine as well, but this is the first one, so it's going to be a different thing. I don't know, something weird and random. Yeah, that's everything. I will see you next week. Bye.